It's 11:45 Eastern time, and it's time for our lunch bites. Well, normally we do the daily bites, but I was out this morning and couldn't get back in time to deliver the daily bites to you. So I thought I'd wait for a little bit till the market was open and everybody got settled in, and go ahead and deliver the daily bites today. So what do we got going on right here? Well, let me get this out of the way first. Market's up nicely today, right? Strong move, almost 0.75% gain on the ES futures. Dow Industrials up almost 1% today. NASDAQ up nearly 1%. Good strong move in the small caps as well, about 1.5%. So good price action across the board. Good volume as well, too. Breadth is good. Take a look at the breadth here, 18-7 on the positive side, so better than 2-1. And of course, we had a really negative breadth day on Tuesday as we came back from the 3-day holiday. It turned around yesterday to a nice breadth reading, and then today we're following through. So one bad day of breadth, which was on Tuesday, doesn't necessarily negate that buy signal that was in place for several days over there. So that's a real positive. See also a big flop down in volatility. The VIX is down sharply today, down 1.4, almost 8% today. From yesterday's close, we're under 16% again today, which we were last week. And I want to show you that chart real quick on the VIX. Again, you know what I mean? One day was certainly a little bit scary. It popped up on the VIX over there and came right back down yesterday, and then following through to the downside today. And we're bouncing right on the 20-day moving average. So what does that mean? That means you got to use a little bit of caution here, right? If we don't break through that 20-day moving average, that's the dotted line right over here, okay? We're slightly above it right now. If we can penetrate that maybe later today, probably not happening today. We've had a lot of volatility sellers. They've stopped selling vol. Could happen towards the end of the day, but if we do get below there, we got to follow through on it to the downside. Now, what is that 20-day moving average reading? 1530 right now, and we're at 1550. So it's a little bit lower than where we're at currently. So we get another drop down in volatility. We'll spike up in the markets later on today. We could get that close below the 20-day moving average. And then if we can follow through tomorrow going into the weekend, that would be a positive note. So you're getting a lot of short covering coming in over the last day and a half. Certainly yesterday, after President Trump talked about not putting the tariffs on Europe February 1. That was what caused the markets to shiver on Tuesday, and they shook off that bad news and managed to rally right back up again. So what am I doing today? Taking a lot of risk off the table, taking a lot of trades down, took a lot of SPY calls off the board today, took off my IWM earlier this morning. We had about an 80% gain on that. Also, was able to take some profits. I'll show you some of what we did today in the room and what I did today. You can see I had some GE, loser on that one, cut that one. I had a nice winner on AMD in there at 12, sold it at 29. Bought some more Gilead. I'm already in the May 125 calls. Those are up about 87% right now. Sold more Schlumberger, SLB. Earnings coming out tomorrow. So what I want to do is I want to take that risk off the table from this original trade. So I had the 42.50 February calls, which I put in there about 2 weeks ago. More than a double, in at 270, out at 680, and I rolled those to the 47.50s, right? Maybe in some cases I could have taken the 50s, but I went with the 47.50s. So just a smaller amount. So what does that mean? I've basically taken all of my original capital off the table. I have a little bit of risk on in case the earnings are good tomorrow and the stock takes off. And if it doesn't, if it goes down, I'm not going to get hurt very much because I've already taken my original capital off the board. That's called working yourself into a free trade. I also rolled into some Starbucks. I sold some. That's a nice big fat winner on Starbucks. I was real patient with that one. Sold some Monster calls, had another big winner on that one. I added some more CRISP, CRSP, talked about that recently. Had some Costco that I sold a huge whopper gain on that one, February 935s. And I got in there before the last earnings report, held on there, and more than a doubler on those. And then exited some Baidu, sold some of those Gilead calls that I mentioned earlier at about an 80% win, and sold the IWM, and some Victoria's Secret. So been pretty busy today, hitting the sell button. Bought a few things, sold mostly some names just to take some risk off the table. That's what we do here, right? We're there to take risk off when we can, take advantage of days like today when the markets are up. Should they be up or shouldn't they be up? I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. That's not a question I ask. I'm not here to try and reason as to why the markets are doing what they're doing, right? As long as they're open, that's all I care about. All right. I'm going to look for opportunities to take money off the table, to add some risk on, roll stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's what we do here. Okay. Options trading. Thank you all for spending a little bit of time with me yesterday on the Leaps webinar yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It was great. You have an opportunity to get on board still. If you listen to the webinar, you will be getting an email very soon. If you haven't jumped on board, you have a few days. I will tell you this. We have another webinar set up on the 27th. And it is only for members only for the Leaps Club. If you're not in the Leaps Club, you're on the outside looking in. Why is that important? Because we will be talking about new trade ideas for the Leaps service, right? Leaps service was up 107% in 2025. It was a great year. First year we had it going, and we think we can, we've raised the bar for performance, and we think we can do real well with that. So I encourage all of you to take advantage. You can still get 10% off for another few more days. I think we're going to let that run through the weekend. See here. What if you attended the webinar, you'll probably get an invite and the code. I will tell you the code is LEAP in 2026. LEAPINTO26. So if you go to the website, explosiveoptions.net, and go to the trading services, go to Leaps Club, come down over here, join today, fill in all your information right here, and come down over here and type in LEAP in 2026. Send it away, and you get 10% off the service. Why is 10% off so important? Well, I mean, last year, a lot of people got 90% off as an introductory price, and most everybody did extremely well in 2025. And hopefully we're going to do just as well. But as I mentioned in the webinar, you know, if you just had $25,000, $30,000 to work with in Leaps webinar, and you followed all the trades, you made more than 100% on your money last year. So 25,000, you doubled it to 50,000. So think about the trade-off here. The service is $900 if you buy it with the discount, $1,000 if you don't get the discount. To make $1,000 to make $30,000, $30,000 if that's what you had last year. I mean, I don't think there's any choice here, right? There's no decision to be other than, you know, yes, I want to get in the service. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys all on the webinar next week, and we're going to be doing more sessions, touch base sessions over the year to see what we're going to do. And thank you all for spending a little bit of time with me today. I will be back on Monday with a regular daily bites, hopefully the regular time on Monday. But you know, take it easy today. Do some selling. Add a few things here and there that you've been looking at, maybe on the dips, right? There's some big earnings coming out next week. I think Boeing is coming out next week, maybe Apple, and a few other big names. So it's going to be an interesting week. Tonight we have Intel coming out with earnings, Capital One, Alcoa, CSX, and the rails. And then tomorrow morning, SLB, as I mentioned earlier, Ericsson, and a few other small banks. So it'll be an interesting couple of days here before the weekend. And again, we're looking to see if the markets can hold up here into the weekend. Volatility coming down a little bit more. It's risen up a little bit since we started talking in the daily BISO this morning, and hopefully we'll see what transpires. But again, have some control over your accounts. Have some control over your positions, and make it happen. All right. Have a great day. I appreciate all you guys being patient with me today. I'll see you guys all on Monday. Have a great day. If I don't see you Monday, if I don't see you tomorrow in the chat room, have a great weekend. I'll see you then.